of Ado, Okpokwu, and Ogbadibo Federal Constituency. I am from Benue State. I rise to move the motion for a need to declare emigration of young Nigerians abroad, also known as JAPA syndrome. JAPA is a Yoruba word for people who are running away from the country for
just introduce the subject matter so that we can get a seconder.
Need to declare emigration of young Nigerians abroad, aka JAPA syndrome, a national emergency. It's a motion on the other paper.
But this is what you wrote.
So take it. Yes. The House notes that according...
Please hold on, honorable colleague, just a minute.
Paper. It's on the other paper. It does not require a seconder. No. It's on the other paper. The House also notes that the recent reports by African Policy Institute indicate that 60% of young people would opt to relocate abroad if given the chance or if the opportunity presents itself. Aware that there is a 40% increase in the number of young Nigerians leaving the nation compared to the number captured in 2019, as the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs reported that emigration from Nigeria in 2020 totaled 1.7 million, which is a substantial increase from 990,000 in 2010. The House consigned that the growing statistics of young Nigerians leaving Nigeria and securing permanent residence in the United Kingdom, the USA, and Canada portends a grave danger for our nation in many ways, from economic to intellectual and social aspects. Also consigned that the Nigerian population is made of 2/3 of persons under the age of 30, and a good number of these persons are already afflicted with what today is acceptably referred to as the JAPA syndrome, as estimates indicate a staggering tens of thousands have relocated to the USA, Canada, South Africa, and even Gambia over the last 2 years. Worried that the eagerness to migrate to countries that offer hope seems to have compelling influence, and this was aptly captured in the Business Day newspaper of 4 June 2023 by one Timothy Oyogeke under an article titled "The Desertion of Nigeria by Nigerians, Lack of Patriotism or Need for a Better Life." By the observation of the writer, it is disheartening to see the rate at which brilliant and very resourceful Nigerians are eager to leave the country. Also worried that those living in Nigeria are not just the poor, but middle class who possess skills and workforce, including bankers, lecturers, healthcare practitioners, doctors, nurses, trained manpower, all of whom were trained in Nigeria with Nigerian taxes and are emigrating at a time when their services are needed to build a strong and vibrant economy for this country. Disturbed that if this scenario continues with our able minds, brains, and skilled personnel living, Nigeria may fall into grave crisis in our critical sectors, from education to health care, thereby making a bad situation worse. Cognizance that in line with the renewed hope theme of the President Bola Tinubu administration, the triggers that predispose young Nigerians to find a choice to leave the country attractive, such as uncertainty of the duration of stay in higher institutions, poor living wages, growing unemployment, poor living condition, insensitive leadership, insecurity, postgraduate realities, and among others, which make young people frustrated, demands a declaration of state of emergency in order to address this syndrome. The House, conscious that our young population remains of our greatest asset, and although the prospect of a growing Nigerians in the diaspora could be beneficial in a way, it should not be at the expense of our needed manpower. Also, it borders on national pride when our young, bright minds leave the country in droves, convey an impression that Nigeria is a sinking ship that everyone is rushing to get out of. The House also cognizes that life-changing decision whether to stay in one's country or emigrate should not be anchored based on challenges ranging from insecurity to poor health, poor educational system, and poor economy, among other things. The House resolves to urge the federal government to convene a national summit with key stakeholders to effectively address the syndrome. The House resolves to declare a state of emergency on the factors that predispose young Nigerians to give up on Nigeria in preference for other nations. So I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any second?
Then go to section 35, talking about the personal liberty of an individual. This motion as it is, it looks nationalistic, but it contravenes the provisions of the Constitution. It's the liberty of a Nigerian if he is qualified and he is normal and he has all the grant rights of movement anywhere he wants. It's the right of a Nigerian if he has the correct qualification to go for anywhere to source a living. The Constitution of Nigeria allows even dual citizenship, talk less of moving somewhere to earn a living. If we allow this motion on this floor, it contravenes the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Mr.
Speaker, point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Colleagues. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the mover of the motion is not praying that everybody should be stopped from going to abroad. We should take this into consideration, but is advising, because we have to tell each other the truth. The factors enumerated, that is the actual factors or reasons behind people leaving this country to seek for greener pastures somewhere. Mr. Speaker, I have your protection, and I believe I deserve that protection. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell, the mover of the motion mentioned reasons why Nigerians are living for greener pasture somewhere outside the country. He is only calling. Excuse me. Can I have your protection?
Please, order.
Go ahead.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, summarize, please.
Let's be orderly, please. Let's be orderly, please.
Follows. 1, poor working condition or poor wages, growing unemployment, poor living condition, insensitive leadership, insecurity, post-graduation realities, and other factors. What he is trying to say in a nutshell, we have identified, international communities have identified, these are the reasons why Nigerians are compelled to go outside the country. And what he is praying now is, let there be national summit, so that all these factors will be given priorities, so that at the end of the day, Nigerians will be.
Thank you, honorable colleague. I think you have said enough.
Yes,
please,
sir. Thank you, sir.
So we put the question. Those who are in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those who are against should say nay.
No.
The nays have it.